Good morning, everybody. It's Positive Tuesday today, September 12th, 2023. For Barron County Sheriff Chris Fitzgerald, I'm Ben Dryden, and you're watching Positive Tuesday with Ben and Fitzy, presented by Professional Exteriors and Interiors. With 20 years of experience, this locally owned and operated business provides quality work both on the inside and on the outside of your home or business. Give Brian a call today. The number's right there on the screen, 715-520-2271. Like Fitzy and I, Brian believes it's the little things that make a big difference. Fitzy, good morning.
Morning, how are you?
Well, on a scale of Aaron Rodgers to Dallas Cowboys, I'm about a 9.
Dallas Cowboys. Wow. Some teams had really good weekends and some teams had really bad weekends.
Yeah, kind of find out. Right. So you were a couple minutes late starting the show this morning, and so you popped on and said, just go, right? Just go live right now. But you may have a call or something. So
I'm watching a couple things and listening to a couple things. We've got a thing going on. It's not real serious, but anyway.
It could always end up being serious. So are we going to be able to listen in on this stuff?
Well, maybe. I'm going to have to not turn my radio down today. So my captain's still here, so I know it's not that serious. So
yeah, he'll let you know.
They're looking for someone that may be a bad guy. I don't know.
They're all bad guys.
That's right. If we're looking for you, you're a bad guy.
Probably not good if they are. So, well, we actually don't have a ton for the second straight week. You had one press release, and we'll get to that. That's the Fall Citizen Law Enforcement Academy dates that were announced. We could talk about that. There was a fatal crash, because I think we've talked about that every week. There's been at least, like on average, like 2 every week in our area. Again, with the exception of Washburn. They don't release that information. We have no idea how many people have died in traffic fatalities in Washburn. At least they don't send that information out, but there was one over in Polk, and I wanted to get into a discussion about helmet laws because it was a motorcycle crash. Just get your take on that. So other than that, we don't have a ton of main topics to talk about, but I do have, and I talked to you about it this morning. You kind of gave me the go-ahead, so I should say we have something new, a new segment that we're testing out this morning, because we always start with sports questions. I ask a question, you ask a question, and that's it. We never want to go more than 10 minutes, right? 10 minutes on sports, half an hour on regular topics, and then 5-minute wrap-up. That's a 45-minute show. That's a good show. Right. But because there's so much going on right now in sports, football, NFL, NCAA, college football, baseball's wrapping up. It's the best part of the baseball season.
USA basketball.
USA hey, that's going to be on the list. Hockey starting soon, NBA starting soon. I wanted to be able to get through a lot more stuff in 10 minutes. So it's a new thing that we're calling, and we'll have sound effects for this if this goes well. It's called Big Deal or Big Deal.
Big deal. I like it.
Yeah. So, some things are like, wow, that's a really big deal. And then other times it's, who cares? Big deal. So.
And people can comment on it. I think this would be fun. I think you should trademark this.
Not a bad idea. We'll start another show. That's great. Great. Don't say it out loud. Now someone else is going to do that. All right. So I have 6 things that I wrote down. Again, we're kind of workshopping this as we go. So big deal or big deal? We'll start with the Detroit Lions. This was the NFL opener last Thursday night. Detroit Lions went to Arrowhead and defeated the Chiefs 21-20. Big deal or big deal?
I think it's a big deal for the Lions, but I don't think the Chiefs. I mean, it's the first game of the season. Week 2 and 3 really set the tone. I think the first week doesn't, unless you're Aaron Rodgers.
Unless you're Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, exactly. Oh my goodness, I did. Good morning, Heather, and good morning, Sharon. And I just saw Brian. Speaking of professional exteriors, we got Chris on the roof. You were on the roof.
I did. Brian did my roof. Well, Brian didn't. His team did it.
Professional exteriors and interiors.
3:30.
Well, he's the boss.
Yeah.
Right. I got people for that.
That's right. Well, he's got people. He's got good people. Man, they did my roof. It was awesome. They did my awesome gutters. Fabulous job by Brian's team. Fast cleanup. I mean, I got to help. I got to go up on the roof, and I did a lot of cleanup. But
you played professional exteriors. Sometimes, like when you play cop on a Saturday.
I played roofer. But yeah, what a great job by Professional Exteriors and Interiors. And
there you go.
There's house. I think they got a couple more jobs. Fast, great, easy. Works with your insurance company. Helps me out. insurance company had a question on Sunday. Brian answered it, sent me what I needed right on Sunday, sent it right back to the insurance company. So, yeah, great job. Love my roof.
Big deal or big deal?
Big deal.
All right. All right. So our next one, this one is college. At the time, number 11 Texas went on the road and they beat Alabama. And if you recall, when we did our a couple weeks ago, you said Alabama, who was currently in the top 4, the preseason NCAA rankings, you said they wouldn't be in the top 4, but they went and they beat Alabama. Big deal or big deal?
Big deal. I mean, they should. I mean, a 3-11 or 4-11 should be playing close. I mean, I think if you're Texas, it's great. But Bama's not going to be Bama like it has been. So,
see, I'm going to say it's a big deal for Texas, and it's a big deal for Alabama between the NIL, which means players can now go to any team as long as they got a whole bunch of money, because that's the whole point of going to college for a lot of, to like these big schools like Alabama, is that is your direct path to the NFL, or you're more likely. But 98% of college football players don't make it to the NFL. So they want to get to the NFL for their payday. But now if you get paid at any team, I think this is the beginning and the end for the dynasty of Alabama. So I think it's a big deal. All right.
Think it's but
we'll agree to disagree.
I know that's probably not on your list, but Paige, was it Beckers for Iowa, got a big payday for that NIL stuff. Yeah, she got a big payday, and that's big for her.
Good.
That's good.
That is a big deal. Financially, too.
Deal. I mean, and I think that women's college basketball, I think is coming of, I mean, their coaches are getting paid more. The players are getting some of these NIL deals. I think women's college basketball is becoming way more exciting than sometimes men's college basketball.
I agree. And because I've been watching more college female basketball or women's basketball, I've actually started to enjoy WNBA a little bit because now I know some of these players. I'm like, oh, I remember watching them. All right. Number 3, the Wisconsin Badgers, who had moved up to 19th, but now they're not ranked anymore, lost to Washington State. Big deal or big deal?
Well, I understand that was 2 years in a row they've lost to them. Is that how I read that?
Could be.
I think they play home and away once. I think that's a big deal. I mean, the Badgers coming off that big win last week, I think it's a really big deal because they showed that their defense wasn't par.
Yeah, so, I agree.
They're Jim Leonard.
Yeah, however, I agree with what you're saying, but I'm going to say big deal because we didn't expect that much from the Badgers. And they're in the Big Ten West, which is just a terrible division. I'm not that worried. 3-4 weeks from now, if they're still okay, then it's a big deal. But right now, big deal. Number 4, here's out of the 6. USA. You and I have been talking about this for like a month now. USA basketball. The USA fails to medal in World Cup. They lost the chance for the gold, and then they had to play a game against Canada. I think it was Canada for the chance for the bronze, and they lost in overtime. We've been talking on the show that we were really concerned. We just didn't think they were that good, and it came to fruition. Is this a big deal or big deal?
It's a big deal not with the outcome. It's the big deal. But the bigger deal is now it got all the NBA players to say, we're playing in the Olympics, we're playing in the Olympics, we're playing. LeBron came out and everybody else has come out. And now we're going to have the superstar team that's going to be the dream team too, or try to be. And I think they'll do it. I like basketball. I know some people don't like the NBA. I follow it because it's something on, and I enjoy it. I think the bigger deal was they proved that the younger guys couldn't do it.
The small ball. In that game against Canada, their starting center was Josh Hart, 6'5". You can't win. They have no big men.
Right, and I think LeBron came on and said we're playing, and I think that's the bigger deal.
You know what? I never thought about that. You're right, because really, this is the World Cup right now. But next year in Paris, the Summer Olympics, that's when that's the bigger one. Right. But if they had, let me put it this way: what if they did win the gold with the small ball, but they didn't do very well, but they barely won? Would they actually have LeBron, Steph, and AD all saying, "That's it, we're all coming out and we're going to start playing"?
I don't think so. Unless that was the whole plan all along, I don't know. I mean, it was just I don't want to play another 3 weeks of basketball before the season starts or whatever. I don't know if they wanted to break. So,
okay, well, we're doing big deal or big deal. Something new that we're starting. We have 2 left here. Number 5, Aaron Rodgers leaves the game with serious injury last night. He's like 4 plays in, he's out. The Jets still end up winning. That was incredible. But Aaron Rodgers leaves the game with serious injury. Big deal or big deal?
That's a big deal. I mean, that's the headline across America right now. Hats off to the coach last night for being open and honest about it after the game when he came out and said, I'm going to address the quarterback first. I'm pretty sure he's got a torn ACL, and that sucks for Aaron Rodgers. And that's truly what it does. It sucks for Aaron Rodgers. It sucks for New York. Hats off to Wilson for coming in and doing a good job last night. I mean, that punt return was amazing for an undrafted rookie. That's some storylines. We love storylines.
Yep.
But yeah, that sucks for Aaron Rodgers. I mean, you never want to see a player to that caliber. I mean, he comes out 0 for 1, his fourth center take, and he goes down with an ACL and never going to play again this year. That's crazy.
That is. I agree. It's an absolutely big deal. It really is. And I think the not nice thing, but when Aaron Rodgers left, there were a lot of Packers fans. I'm not a Packers fan, but there was a lot of them who were, good riddance. And we hate. I don't think any one of those Packers fans right now are happy that he got hurt, because if you want him to lose, he's got to play. So stay healthy. So then you have a terrible year or something like that. That's fine. But nobody wishes somebody getting hurt. That's just disgusting. So
do you think it's a big deal that the Packers don't get the number 1 draft pick? They get the number 2 draft pick now because he didn't play 65% of the snaps?
Oh, I forgot about that.
From the first round to the second round. I think that's a big deal.
Well, wait, so that means that the Packers wouldn't. Okay, well, if the Jets do really, really poorly, though, that second round could be.
The first round could have been good.
Well, it would have been, but the reality is Aaron Rodgers, if he was still playing, they would have done pretty well. They'd be in the middle of the pack. Now, let's say they do really, really bad. It's going to be a high second-round pick. So, that is a thing. Yeah, I didn't think about that. That's a good one.
Unless he comes back. He might not be injured for the season, but it sure looks like he is.
Yeah. Mike and I are both having a rough weekend because the Vikings lost to the Buccaneers. Okay, last one of our big deal or big deal. Packers defeated the Bears. Ugh. Did you need to hear that?
Listening.
Want me to put some music on so nobody else can hear?
No, I think we're fine.
So Packers go and they just walloped the Bears. Big deal? Or big deal?
I think it's a big deal for Aaron Love.
Jordan Love.
Jordan Love. Packer fans love it because Jordan Love did awesome. But I don't know. It's the Bears. Let's see when the Packers play someone else if it's a big deal.
I agree. I think it's a big deal for the Packers just for confidence. Not just for Jordan Love, but for the team to say, hey, this guy's actually pretty good. However, big deal. The Bears are the worst team in football last year. They lost their last 10 games last year. They're going to win a grand total of 1 games this year. Do it against a good team. But it's a big deal for the Packers. I think so.
Yeah, it's a great anytime a team wins, it's a good deal just to gain chemistry and to go out and throw whatever 300 and something yards. That's a
big deal, and it's a big deal for the Bears because this is one step closer to my grand plan. Deion Sanders is my favorite football player ever. Well, he has coached Shedeur Sanders, the quarterback. That's his son in Pee Wee football. Then when he goes to high school, then he coaches that team. Then he goes to college and to Jackson State. Deion Sanders coached that team. Then they go to Colorado. Deion Sanders is coaching that team. So basically, he's just coaching his son through all the ranks. Well, logic would dictate that when Shedeur Sanders goes to the NFL, which could be next year, top 10 pick, that team would also need a head coach because Deion's going to go with too. And if the Bears I'm rooting against, I want the Bears to lose every single game this year, which there's a good chance that they will. Because guess what? Now we can get Shedeur Sanders, and guess who comes with it? Because we'll need a new head coach, Deion Sanders.
Oh, well, that's a heck of a plan.
It is. Hopefully it will. All right. So, hey, that was fun.
That was fun.
I think. Maybe we'll stick to 5 because it went a little longer than I thought. But, all right, so we have a couple things we need to get to. We'll do that right after a word from Spooner Health. We'll be back in 15 seconds.
Satisfaction surveys and in conversations with patients, they appreciate the fact that staff got to know them. Staff really took their preferences into account, and they just feel grateful that they are being cared for as a person.
To learn more about our services, visit spoonerhealth.com.
All right. So thankfully, there wasn't any fatalities, traffic fatalities, or anything in Barron County. This is it's been a while. Sorry, now I'm listening.
I'm listening. I'm doing two things. I got your number of fatalities in Washburn County was 1 this year.
Oh, really? How do you get that information?
Wisconsin Community Maps.
Oh, that's right.
And so it was on 8/13/2023.
Oh, so a month ago.
On 53.
Didn't know anything about it.
And we're at Polk County's got 9. I think.
Yeah.
9. I'm
Yeah,
at
and
7.
You're at 7. I looked that up this morning at 9. And actually, there was a fatality in our area. Our headline was Polk County records 9th traffic fatality of 2023 following motorcycle crash. You had a motorcycle crash the week before that led to a fatality, which leads me to a question I wanted to ask you. Helmet laws in Wisconsin. I don't have a motorcycle, so I don't know. But there is no helmet law for. Is there one for they're called passengers, right? The person behind you.
If you're under the age of, don't quote me on that.
Okay.
I don't know,
if you're a minor-ish.
Yeah.
Got it. So,
right.
And actually, this is exactly where I wanted to go with this. We always like to have a discussion piece, even if it's just for a few minutes regarding something, and that's helmet laws. Are you happy with the helmet laws now? Do you think that there should be a helmet law making it mandatory in Wisconsin for any age? It looks like the minor would be 18. Thank you, Al.
I knew it was something.
Do you think there should be a mandatory helmet law in Wisconsin?
I think we should think about it. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it just seems like there's been a lot of motorcycle crashes lately. Maybe it's just been because it's our area. But yes, I mean, it doesn't make sense but I mean, we have seatbelt laws, so why should we have helmet laws?
I was just going to bring that up. Now, I have no personal feeling either way. I mean, people can do what they want to do, and if you want to ride a motorcycle with a helmet and crash and die, go right ahead. But then we also have seatbelt laws, and I'm not a big fan of regulating what people do on their own time. That's fine as long as it's not hurting somebody else. Whatever. What do I care? We don't have laws that says that you can't have more than 16 ounces of steak in one day. Well, because, that's really bad for you if you just eat steak for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Probably not good. There's no laws on that. So why do we have a law for seatbelt? I literally don't know the answer to why we have a law on seatbelt. Not saying we should get rid of it. But if we have a law on seatbelts, I feel like we should probably have a law on helmets. But I don't know. I'm not a motorcycle rider. I don't know. So my opinion doesn't matter. Yours as a law enforcement official, a politician, as it were. You're not a cop, remember?
I'm listening. I'm doing two things. I can do two things that just listening. We're all good. So far, my captain's still here. So
okay.
So
yes, what is your final answer then? Do you believe that it should be, or a discussion should be?
I think we need to have the discussion about it. We need to look at some statistical data on it. We had that fatality last week at Highway 8 and Highway 0, and we've had 2 motorcycle crashes or fatalities in the last month. And I don't know if helmets save them. I'm not a doctor. It appears in my limited knowledge, I think, but I think helmets would have helped. I don't know that it would have saved them, but I've said that about seatbelts too. Sometimes I think seatbelts are the godsend, and sometimes I'm like, I don't know. But I think they help more than they hurt. So I think we should do it. I like our seatbelt laws. I'm glad my kids wear their seatbelts. I'm glad people wear their seatbelts. I think we should have helmet laws. Now, where I wanted to go with that is Highway 8 and 0. Somebody said that's the most dangerous intersection in Barron County. Well, I did a 5-year study looking back, and there's only been 1 or 2 crashes every year at that intersection. Now, I think there's only been 1 fatality in the last 5 years at that intersection, and that was last week or 2 weeks ago. So I don't think that's a very serious intersection. I think there's, but 1 or 2 crashes at that intersection here. Now, they're always bad crashes because of the speed, but we have that anytime we have a crash, it's because of the speed in a county situation, where municipalities don't have them because the speeds are low. Anytime we have a crash on Highway 48 from somebody pulls out on 12th Street, it's going to be a serious crash because the car's more than likely going 55 or 60 miles an hour. So, so I don't know. Life jackets. I think that's a good point. So I just want to comment on the intersection. People said, "Oh, that's the worst intersection in Barron County." It's not the worst intersection in Barron County. Don't get me wrong. Every intersection where someone dies is a bad intersection, but there's factors in each of these crashes that determine some things. So
I understand. I don't know where I fall on this one. This is a tough one. I like ones where there's an obvious choice or a decision. Like that would just make sense. But honestly,
it makes sense though. I mean, why not have you wear a helmet? You have to wear a seatbelt.
Yeah. Thank you, Heather. I was literally wanted to ask that same question. You said that it isn't the worst in Barron County. So of course that begs the question, which one is? Did you look that up?
No, I didn't. Well, you can't because you got to look up each intersection individually. I can't tell you.
Night.
I mean, Highway 53 during the winter, it's bad because you got to determine winter intersections. Highway 53 by bridges they always have the most crashes because of the bridges get slippery when it gets, in a month from now, bridges will get iced up in the morning and then it melts. And then when you drive off a bridge and you hit dry blacktop, it spins your car out, or hit the ice when you're on the bridge, it starts to spin you out. So
other units, you're not going to want to bring another vehicle back here. We're pretty close to the road. I think we're just going to walk them out.
Oh, they got him.
Good.
So that's what we got. The guy. I don't know what he is and why he's wanted, but we got him.
But good thing we got him.
We got him.
Yeah. Oh, so I saw Warren Tuttle say good morning. I just talked to him last week. I haven't talked to him in a while. I love that dude. As you know, I supported him in the sheriff's race. Hopefully he runs again. Hey, we should ask him. Hey, Warren, you running for sheriff or what? We're like 3 years away. Put you on the spot right now. What?
There's a long ways away. But yeah, I think we should wear. Actually, helmets will help. I mean, there's no question they will help. It doesn't solve every fatality. Either does seatbelts, but I think they help. So there you go. There's a good answer.
Yeah. What would it take to make helmets? Yeah, talk to your legislators.
Romaine Quinn passes a law, it becomes law, and we can pull people over for it, and they have to wear them.
Yeah, you just enforce the law.
All it is. Right.
Well, the ones you want to enforce.
Well, it's right because we're just
yeah. How come I don't see any? How come I don't see any arrests for adultery? That's a Class I felony in Wisconsin. Don't see that. I think your district attorney would have a problem.
Yeah.
If you start becoming the moral police, I don't care if they just need to get rid of that law because sheepers. All right. You only had one press release, and it was more of an announcement. And our headline was Barron County Falls Citizen Law Enforcement Academy dates announced. What is this for people who are unfamiliar with the Citizen Law Enforcement Academy?
So we wanted it's just to get to know what law enforcement does on a daily basis. So for 5 classes, 2 hours apiece, we teach you what we do as law enforcement. Investigations, canine, dispatch, jail, drugs, patrol, shoot, don't shoot, how we collect evidence, how we process evidence, how we monitor our calls, how we listen, how we respond, our technology we have. Everything that we do, we push into a 5-week class, or it's actually 10 weeks. It's every other week for 2 hours. We did this one during the day, thinking we could get some retired people, business people. We've had one at night. We need about 10 people. I don't think we're going to get 10, so we may have to move it tonight, see if we get 10. I don't think we'll get 10 people, but if you have 2 hours during your day, or your boss will let you off for 2 hours every other week for 5 weeks, or 10 weeks, it's every other week. We'd love to have you. It's a Wednesday, 10 a.m. to noon. We'll teach you everything we do. We'll have different speakers every month. It won't be just me. It'll be Captain Hagan, Darren Hodak, our sergeant, Chris Allen, our other sergeant. They're going to walk you through everything that we do. And you can ask questions. You're going to get our equipment. You're going to shoot the taser. You're going to shoot our – So, it's very interactive. It's not just come, sit at a desk. And it's interactive. Every time it's interactive. We're not going to have you sitting for very long. We're going to teach you about the budget. We're going to teach you about a little bit of everything. So I'll enjoy it. I've done it now. I think this is our 4th or 5th one. We always get 10 people and they just love it. So if you have 2 hours, we'd love to have you. If we can't do it, we'll do a spring one, and maybe we'll do a morning and a night one. I don't know. I love it during the day because it's obviously a little easier on our staff, but I get that people are at work but we also know that people after work is busy too. So we're hoping that business people take advantage, send their employees, maybe I can't give you a bonus, but if you really want to go to this, I'll let you off for 2 hours every other week for 10 weeks, and let you go to this as something I can just do as a nice boss. So,
and if you're a bad guy, totally sign up. How do we process evidence?
And you can't have felonies on your record. We do a background check on you. So, we're not going to if you're a recent felon, we're not going to let you come in and see our jail.
Recent felon. That's what I heard.
There you go.
Recent.
Hey, we're all about rehabilitation. We'll look at it. We'll have a discussion. If you're a felon from 10 years ago, we can talk about it.
Well, it's on our website. I believe it's on your Facebook page, but for people who are listening right now and they don't want to go to either one, where do they go to get more information about this? Is there an end date here where they have to sign up?
Well, I mean, we can. Well, obviously, if we get 5 people sign up, we have to cancel it sooner than later. But we'll see. Even if we decide we want to do it with 5 people, we can. I just my staff does a lot of the work on this, and I don't want to tie it up.
The first date's coming up this month, though. The end of this month.
Yeah, it is. It's coming the 20th, right?
Yeah, that's eight days away. So yeah, if you want to do this, go to the. Right. Well, our website, or our Facebook page, your Facebook page, or just go to your sheriff's page, right?
Email me, email Captain Hagan. Our emails are on there. Call.
Do it this week if you're interested.
Yeah, tell your friends, get 3 or 4 people, and bring them, and have it be a party every 2 weeks. We have a lot of fun. We laugh. We answer all your questions. Everybody wants to do it. It's awesome.
Yeah. Well, that's literally all I had down. So we've got, a little more time left. What do you want to talk about? Or if anybody has a question or something about anything, that was all I had.
I don't have much.
Kronberger was on the show last Thursday.
I didn't get to watch it. So.
Yeah. Well, we nerded out for a little bit about Star Wars, so forget about that. But they had their last Sunday, the cops versus firefighter. Yeah, their softball thing to raise money. I believe when Kronberger was on, Chief Kronberger, he said that they were taking their portion and donating it to Hunter and Emily. Yeah. And it sounds like they won. Mikey sent a text yesterday with a photo because it's just like a college sports where if it's a rivalry game, then you get like a trophy and then you keep it until the other team beats you like the next year. So I should have had that picture ready. But they won, so he finally has it back in his office, and he's very, very happy about it. Very proud of it. I love that stuff.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, I think that's great. I over the weekend we had a lot of different events. We had the rodeo. We had Alzheimer's walk. At the Alzheimer's walk, I met some people from Amory who watch the show every week and said, we just love watching the show. And I just love it. If we can make a difference in someone's information sharing, whatever, make somebody go. If Tamara wants to go call Romaine and Dave Armstrong or whoever she is, and get the helmet law passed, great. We're just empowering people. The little things make a big difference. And so we had that. We had a street eats for our Benjamin house. That was very successful. Street eats. It was a bunch of food trucks on the street.
Oh, street eats.
Street eats.
Oh.
Yes. So everybody was on the street. We blocked off the street, had food and drinks for people to raise money for the Benjamin house. Lots of different events over the weekend.
Do they have a Gyros truck there?
A what?
Gyros truck?
What's that?
Gyros, gyros, G-Y-R-O. It's the meat, gyros?
There was a gyro truck there. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yes. We had county board last night. The budget looks good. No, nothing major. Budget looks great for the county. Not any big increases. I mean, it's had chamber this morning. Dunkin' Donuts is back online, building very quickly now. So we're gonna have a Dunkin' Donuts in Rice Lake very shortly.
What?
Yeah.
Wow. Maybe we'll have Ben Affleck up in northern West Wisconsin. Isn't he part owner in it and spokesman for him? I didn't know that. Yeah.
I don't.
So
care.
you're getting a Dunkin' Donuts?
We're getting a Dunkin' Donuts.
Where? Right next to the police station?
The police station. Right by the Farm and Fleet.
Okay.
Farm and Fleet on the south end of town.
Is it a new building, or are they replacing an existing building?
Down we're an old gas station, old South Lake RV was. They sold that, tore down the building, and they built a brand new building, or they're building a brand new building. So I think it's a few months from being open yet, but they had some issue. I talked to somebody in the city council this morning, and bam, it's back online, and they're going to town on it. So it's been great.
When are they anticipating having it open?
No,
before the winter or after?
I would think before, but I don't know. I mean, they got the frame up already, so I wouldn't think it takes long. So
Professional exteriors and interiors was doing it. It would be up by this weekend.
It'd be done. It'd be done by the weekend. There's no question. That's right.
Exactly.
If they need help, they should do that. Other than that, I go into a prevention conference tomorrow.
I think I know what that is, but
alcohol and drugs prevention. It's a statewide conference. I'll be speaking on drugs in Northwest Wisconsin with a couple other guys from across the state, just on what drugs we see in Northwest Wisconsin and kind of what we do here. We've been part of our prevention efforts. We've been part of that committee from that statewide effort for a lot of years. So I'll be going to that meeting tomorrow.
Can you give us the short version of it there? What kind of drugs, like what are you anticipating saying tomorrow? Here's the kind of drugs we're seeing in our area. What are you going to tell them?
Well, we're going to talk about meth, because I think if you notice the state of Wisconsin, it's not everybody has meth. We're going to talk about fentanyl. We're going to talk about some of the things that we do, and maybe we'll get ideas. I mean, to go to it is to get ideas on what we could do different. A lot of people have a lot more experience with fentanyl than we do, because fentanyl is a newer drug to Northwest Wisconsin. While we've been hearing and talking more about it, it's killed some people. Maybe there's something else we do. It's harm reduction strategies. We could get into a whole show about that, but some people don't like harm reduction strategies because it's using Narcan. So hang on one second.
Sure.
Yep. But harm reduction strategies are it's a way to help people, but at the same time, you might be telling them drugs aren't bad. I mean, they're bad. We tell them drugs are bad, but we might give them Narcan. Narcan is a harm reduction strategy. If I Narcan you, I can bring you back from the drug killing you, but it doesn't help you get off the drug. All it does is save your life. And if we Narcan you every time you do drugs, then you're not getting the help you need. But people that are on drugs don't want help unless they want help. So sometimes, bringing someone back from the dead, kind of, per se, is a wake-up call. And so you never know when that wake-up call is going to happen. So harm reduction strategies are somewhat controversial because, needle exchange programs are a harm reduction strategy, because I don't want to prevent not STDs, but, AIDS and all that other stuff. Sharing of needles are bad. And so you give a drug addict a new needle because you don't want them sharing needles or finding a needle on the ground.
I see. I can see how that'd be controversial. That's like condoms. Right. It's the same thing. Like people, we shouldn't teach our kids about having sex or give them condoms, because if you give them a condom and they're, for free, like from your guidance office or something, I don't know if that's a thing. Right. Then we're encouraging them to. The other way to look at it is we're pretty sure they're going to. We want to make sure that they're safe.
Right.
So I understand it's a controversial topic. So I get it.
But there's harm reduction strategies that law enforcement support. There's some that law enforcement don't support.
Which ones don't you support?
Which one don't we?
Yeah.
There's different things out there about drug exchange, testing your drugs, and we don't do that here. But some departments will test your drugs and make sure fentanyl's not in it. I mean,
so you would bring your drugs to?
Well, it's not really a police department. It's more of a, maybe a public health or something like that. And I mean, you can't. Or they don't bring the drugs in, but they give them a test strip that says, dip this in your drugs, and it'll tell you if it's got fentanyl in it.
Hey, before I buy this, let me know if it's any good.
Well, and so I'm not saying they bring drugs in and say, hey, test this, and they give it back to them.
Just a funny concept.
There's test strips that now they make, and I'm like, well, that's just – but, I get it. I don't want dead people either. So, and again, rock bottom is where some people need help. So and they always try to educate you with some help. If you do come to these places, that's stuff like that's more for big cities. It's not for Northwest Wisconsin. I don't know anybody in Northwest Wisconsin that has that. So
I don't know. I think I'm all for anything that saves a life. I mean, I think I start there. Maybe there are some things where it's okay, probably not. But I don't think I'm going to look at every single thing and go, well, do I think that's good or not? I think I'm just like unilaterally, if it helps save a life, I'm all for it. And then there will only be exceptions where it's like, okay, what? That's kind of weird. Maybe not that one, but And I get it's a little, I understand that, but man, if we can save someone's life, then.
Right. But you also don't want to extend the drug problem, and I get it. So I mean, you have to be somewhat careful with that. But no one's perfect, and we don't think we are. And I don't know. But again, tomorrow I hope to learn about something someone's unique, someone's doing. Maybe it's a program in the jail, maybe it's a program in the justice center, maybe it's a court system where instead of people going to prison for first offense methamphetamine, they whatever. I don't know what the answer is, but we're going to listen to some people, and I'm going to attend some other sessions besides the one that I'm talking at, to try to get new ideas for Brent County. If we can save one life, we'll make a difference. That's what it's about.
Yeah. So it's only Tuesday. You got a busy weekdays.
Oh, yeah. I got a busy day. I mean, this Tuesday, the second Tuesday of the month, is always just busy. I got meetings all day today, and then we'll go down to the Dells tomorrow and we'll figure it out.
And you get back. What are your plans this weekend?
Jason's got an opening hockey game. West Bend Power have their home opener, and they have a big party, and we're going down to watch the home opener.
West Bend?
Yeah, he played Thursday night, and they played a upper level team. They lost on Thursday in Eagle River, but he scored a goal. It was great. I didn't expect them to win last Thursday, but now the games start and they count. He's playing junior level hockey, and these are what it's about now. It's about winning the game. Now it's kind of like being in the NHL. You got to win. So yeah.
Oh, that's so awesome for him.
So, yeah, it'll be fun. So we're going down there Saturday. I'm just checking now. Let's see what we got. Okay. All right. So that's cool. What do you got going on?
Well, Thursday is the second Thursday of the month, so it'll be Congressman Tom Tiffin will be on for a show. That's always fun to get, hate mail sent after that. It still blows my mind. We have a sitting United States congressperson that comes on the show live, unscripted, for 30 minutes every month, and nobody asks a question. It's so weird. I mean, whether you like him or not, it doesn't matter. You can ask him a question, he's going to answer. It's so bizarre to me that they don't even ask any questions. It's so weird.
Romaine and Tom and Dave, I mean, they're not afraid to answer. I'm not afraid to answer. Right, how do you make a helmet law? I don't know. Call your congressman and ask him.
There you go.
Your state legislature. But yeah, I mean, don't be mean because they're people too.
Yeah, I don't care if he's a Republican or if it was a Democrat. I don't care about that. This is a United States congressperson. Ask a question.
Used to do the same thing. I mean, some people didn't like him, but at least you knew where he stood, and he tried to come down the middle. Sometimes it's not always about this side or this side. It's sometimes we meet in the middle and we can get there.
That's usually where the best stuff is done. When neither side get everything they want, but there's a compromise and it's okay. Yeah, and speaking of Mike Kronberger, the Spooner Chief, I'm so glad that he was on the show last week because when we got finished with the show, we were just having a quick chat. And he said something about his anniversary was coming up. And I'm like, oh, man, I'm so glad you said that. So our anniversary, my wife's and my anniversary is this Saturday, so we're going to be going away for the weekend. Yeah. But I kind of forgot to get the hotel room. And I was supposed to do that a month ago. So if he didn't say that, I would have, completely forgotten again. So this was last week. So then I called. It's a same place we go to Eau Claire for our anniversary. It's a special place for a lot of reasons. We're actually going to the cities on Saturday and then going to see my oldest daughter Grace and our grandkids on Saturday afternoon. So we have a whole weekend packed. We'll end up in Eau Claire at this place. But I call down there and I'm like, I need the specific room. Right, it's the nicest room. It's got the hot, all this, but it has to be that specific room. Like, well, it's booked. We could try to move it. I'm like, are you going to be working on next Saturday? She goes, yeah. I'm like, I'll give you $50 cash if you could just get this done for me and make me look, so I don't have to hear about it. So she said she would, but we're going to find out on Saturday if we got the room that we wanted. So I'm looking forward to that. It's nice to get out of town a little bit.
Perfect. Well, enjoy it. Congratulations on your anniversary.
Thank you. And thank you for not asking how many years, because that would be a total jerk thing to don't ask another guy live on a show. How many years have you been married?
I got married in 2000, so it's easy math.
Oh, how nice. All right. So we know it's time to wrap it up because Dirk Miller, our official forecast, our weatherman.
Ooh, 33. Oh,
holy,
cool.
When? Holy cow.
Yeah.
Close to 80 come Thursday. What is going on?
33 to 80. Boom, boom.
Fall. Cooler on Friday and the weekend. Better chance for rain on Friday. So I missed the winds, the 33 to 37?
tonight, tomorrow. I see where.
Okay, there we go. 'Cause it went away. There we go. Frost tonight. So, chilly tonight. Wow, holy cow! I actually have to close the windows tonight.
Or leave them open, and it'll be cool in the
30. That's not cool. That's freezing. Literally.
The pipes are gonna freeze.
Yeah, it is whack. All right, cool. Well, that's all I have. And then, hey, have fun this week. Sounds like you got a lot going on, which this should be some good stuff to be able to talk about next week, because hopefully we keep this stretch going of not having heavy things to talk about in traffic fatalities again, and we can just have more conversations like this. So that was excellent. Thank you so much.
Yep, sounds like a plan.
All righty. For Barron County Sheriff Chris Fitzgerald, I'm Ben Dryden, and you've been watching Positive Tuesday with Ben and Fitzy. Go ahead, Brian. He has a question for you. With 20 years of experience as locally owned and operated business, provides quality work both on the outside and inside of your home or business. So give him a call today. The number is right there on the screen, 715-520-2271. Brian, you got like 8 seconds, dude. I'll try to stretch this out. Fitzy and I will see you next week.
He doesn't have a question.
He doesn't have a question. Jeepers creepers. So yeah, I'll see everyone Thursday morning with Wisconsin. Yeah, I think that was a question for Mike Schaefer. I think that was a question for Mike Schaefer.
I knew that was going to be his question, but
really,
I don't know. My shingle might be loose.
All right, I'll see everyone on Thursday morning. We'll be chatting with 7th Congressional District Representative Tom Tiffany. Fitch and I'll see you back here next Thursday, 8:30. Thanks so much for the interaction. Thanks as always for watching, and have a blessed day.